No. You can do it.
We have strength left.
We have to do this.
Go on.
We have to do this.
Go on without me.
No. Get up. Come on. Well.
Oh, dude.
Here we are. Our hearts have now turned black and sour.
No.
They're broken.
Heartbreaking.
And shattered.
Heartbreaking loss today to the Colts. What's up, Titans Nation?
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to our reaction recap podcast of the Titans loss to the Colts at home, 34-26. Oh God, it's just like a knife through the heart. Still,
that was awful.
When I talk about it,
that was piss poor.
Piss poor.
What are we even gonna say after that? There's so much to talk about. There's so many thoughts swimming through my head. The game just ended. And I am an emotional wreck right now.
First off, let's just acknowledge everyone here. If you're a Titans fan, if you're a Raiders fan, if you're just a fan of the NFL, that the Colts are straight evil.
They're evil.
I don't know what they did, but they've like sold their soul to Satan because they've just put some curse on the NFL and especially the Titans. God, they are just evil.
I don't
incarnate in the flesh. Oh, they are the worst. I have to say, I said this to my wife. I think they are my number one hated NFL team of all time.
Oh, for sure.
More than any other team.
Far.
The Colts. Oh my gosh.
That was the case back when the divisions came together or realigned in 2002, and Peyton Manning was the quarterback, and they were the team to be reckoned with.
But even then, I still dislike them, but now it's like, but a lot of people in Tennessee really love Peyton Manning, and Peyton Manning's a good guy. Now I
get that.
Loathe their whole organization, from the owner down to their lowest of lowest players. Like they're all just black-hearted pirates of death.
I don't like their coach. I don't like their players. I don't like their fans.
They don't even like their coach.
They don't even like their own coach.
Or their owner. Their owner just likes drugs.
They're drug-addicted.
Alcoholic owner.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, we're taking some low blows here.
Okay,
we're very angry and salty right now. I don't know if you can tell.
Yes, we apologize for what we just said.
It's just frustrating.
Get some anger out of our chest. We don't rant a lot. Anyways, let's just get into our thoughts on the game.
First
that's
of all,
what it's all about.
This makes it 10 straight victories for the Colts over the Titans, which is inexplicable.
That's 5 years.
Unacceptable. I mean, 10
which
game winning
streaks. Inexplicable or unacceptable?
It's both
combined. Or undeniable.
I guess it's undeniable. It's a freaking fact, and it's retarded.
Yeah, you can't deny it because it's happened. And
this stuff
happens. Never lost to us.
Yeah, that too. This stuff happens in college football, but when you get beat 10 straight times by a team in the NFL, there's a curse. There's something wrong with you. Your franchise is garbage. One of those or all of those.
That's the last one's not the case, but yeah,
I would hope
there's
not.
some. Like I said, the Colts have sold their soul to the devil and made a deal with Satan because this is unexplainable.
Even in years where we're better, like the Colts. Like, I'm sorry, if you're a Colts fan,
don't watch this channel if you're a Colts fan.
You're not allowed to watch this channel.
That's the one fan of a team that's not allowed to watch this channel.
But your team is not very good. And I'm not saying that the Titans are better. Obviously, we weren't today. But it's just frustrating even in years when the Titans have a better team than the Colts. We can't beat the Colts no matter what. It's written
in the history books.
In the Bible, I think.
No, oh gosh. No, the Quran. Something like that.
The Quran, you probably.
Okay, let's stop ranting about just how bad we hate the Colts. We lost to them today. Let's get down into the actual thoughts on the game, okay?
They have exactly 2 players. They have 2 players on that team that are good. We couldn't stop them for the life of us. All we had to do was shut down at least one of them, and we could not do that. T.Y. Hilton and Andrew Luck had their way all afternoon with the Titans secondary.
They did. Yeah. Since you started that, let's just go ahead and start with our defense then,
Sorry,
I guess.
I'm still
since
ranting.
You're just like jumping right into this.
I'm
Yeah.
very angry right now.
Yeah, what the heck? When I saw that Philip Dorsett was not going to be active, they already were missing Dwayne Allen and Dante Moncrief. They're already a weak, receiving core out there. That only leaves T.Y. Hilton as like their only guy with talent. And he tore us up. What?
Absolutely tore us up.
Look at that.
Infuriating.
7 receptions, 133 yards, and a touchdown. Should have had 2 touchdowns. McCourty got burned again.
Yeah. He got burned again. Luckily, there was an illegal formation penalty, I think, against him, so it got called back. But the illegal formation probably had nothing to do with the success of the play that they had. I mean, McCourty got straight up burned for the second would-be touchdown. And then Jack freaking Doyle McPoyle, their 15th tight end.
Jack freaking Doyle. I like that. 9 receptions, 78 yards, and a touchdown.
Yeah, and I think he just caught another first down pass over the middle because he was doing that all afternoon. We could not stop it in that. They had like 2 plays: throw it to Ty, throw it to Jack Doyle over the middle.
It's crazy. We've made a lot of tight ends, not even first string tight ends this year, look really good. They've had really good games against us.
Yeah, I don't know what the issue was with our coverage, and it's not just that Ty is a really good player and he made plays against us. But I was watching the game, and our defense, there were multiple plays where we had one guy covering T.Y. Hilton. That makes no sense.
We should have double-teamed that dude the whole game.
Whole game.
Especially when I heard Philip Dorsett was out, I was like, oh my gosh, we got this.
Just bring a safety over.
They literally have 2 players on offense, throwing Frank, maybe 2.5 if you throw in Frank Gore, an aging Frank Gore, but Luck and T.Y. was the key, and they turned that key and unlocked the door and walked straight in.
They did.
Because look at the Luck stats even. Oh my God, 353 yards, 3 touchdowns, 123.1 QB rating, and an 87.5 QBR. Most of that to T.Y. and Jack Doyle. That's like, wow, I bet Luck, it was easy for him.
And
it looked
Luck,
easy for him.
Yeah, and he was on point today. He made some really amazing throws, but at the same time, where was our pass rush? Why couldn't we get through that Swiss cheese offensive line that they had that they've been giving up sacks left and right, and then our guys could not get to him. We got to him twice, I think. We had 2 sacks.
Yeah,
other than that, he was standing in a clean pocket. And if not, he's got great instincts. He knows where to step and where to go. So he's tough to bring down, but other teams have been getting him down, and that was a strength of our team.
I think it definitely... the whole game flipped because we could not generate a pass rush, which was a trend early on when we were losing games. And if we're not going to get any kind of pass rush or pressure on a quarterback as great as Andrew Luck, of course he's going to tear us up. And yeah, they had a very patchwork offensive line. I think I heard before the game that this was their 5th different starting offensive line already in 7 games this year, which was the most in the NFL. And they were starting a rookie, I think, one of their tackle positions who never started a game yet. So that's
crazy. That is crazy.
We should be looking at that like with our saliva in our mouth for our defensive line, our front 7.
That's what that's what the Dolphins did, though. They made a makeshift offensive line because they had injuries at the last second, and we got after Tannehill in that game, but we could not get a finger on Luck.
Yeah, very surprising after what we had just done to the Miami, the Dolphins, and the Browns, racking up 12 sacks in freaking 2 games. Could only get 2 sacks this game. Yeah, they came at good times. I'm not belittling the sacks at all. Sorry if you can hear the dogs in the background. They're fired up about the game, too. They're very mad. But... yeah, I think that's where the whole thing fell apart. I don't know if that was a scheme thing. I don't know. Several times I saw us blitz and we just couldn't get to Luck. I give the dude credit. He has very good pocket presence and pocket movement. He knows when to step up. And not just step up, but like step into the right holes where it's kind of opened up and there's not going to be pressure. So he's I hate saying this. He's a very smart quarterback, very good quarterback.
Yeah, great instincts, great pocket presence.
Yeah, once it was noted today, even on times where I saw like I said, we blitzed. He was making the movements in the pockets and getting the ball away when he needed to.
And finding open guys, and there were guys open all day. I feel like when the receivers catching balls, they had space around them. Like I don't know where we were at. I don't know where the coverage was supposed to be dictated, and What were they supposed to do?
The one reason I think I hate the Colts so much is even when they have the worst teams, and we have just better teams, our team was better just across the board. They know our weaknesses and they exploit them perfectly somehow.
I think their game plan...
They neutralize our strengths and exploit our weaknesses, and that's why I really hate them. And I think it's a coaching thing.
Yeah, I think their game plan was way better coming in. And yeah, I was going to say that. I think we got outcoached straight up in this game as well. They came ready to play, and like all of our players, not all of them, most of our players just didn't seem ready for this game. They underperformed, in my opinion, except for DeMarco Murray, who is a workhorse, consistent back for us every single week.
Let's stay with the defense now. Let's stay with the defense.
Okay,
until we're done with this. Yeah, and
I was just going to say the players that underperformed.
We'll say
on the defensive side of the ball, Derek Morgan had at least 2 plays where he played well. He got a sack or 2, a sack and a half, I think it was. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Did anyone stand out?
Half a sack.
Did anyone stand out to you on defense? We should have been swarming the
But this is what I was saying. They knew our weakness in defense was, one, it's all predicated on the pass rush we generate because our secondary is weak. So they neutralized the pass rush and then they picked us apart all day.
Yeah.
And teams knew that was our weakness. They just had to stop it. They just haven't been able to do it. And so I definitely think that's some kind of coaching thing. That might be on LeBeau or Malarkey, but definitely outcoached because the Colts played to our weaknesses perfectly on defense. Mm-hmm. Only 2 sacks. I mean, I never saw Andrew Luck, besides those 2 plays, he wasn't in a hurry all day. He never got really knocked down. Besides the BS. Absolutely BS.
Where Casey nicked him. He nicked him with his
shoulder.
Oh, my God. Oh, no. Let's throw a flag. Poor Andrew Luck.
Is that
he
not
can't take that.
The weakest roughing the passer call I've ever seen?
It's one of the weakest I've ever seen.
I mean...
But I think there were bad calls, though, this game on both sides of the ball, but that was definitely a terrible call. And
it came at a really bad time too.
Yeah, I can't remember what the end of that drive ended up being.
I think they only ended up getting a field goal out of it. But it was still, God.
It hurts. It hurts to see terrible penalties.
It hates to see our weaknesses get exploited that well too. Honestly.
I mean, yeah, like I said, I think they knew exactly what they had to do to win this game, and that's for Andrew Luck and T.Y. Hilton also to play extremely well, and that's what they did. We couldn't stop them to save our lives, and we came into this game knowing that's all they had, and we still couldn't stop them.
Yeah.
And Frank Gore, I mean, he didn't blow me away with his play, but I feel like he was consistently getting 4 or 5 yard runs. It says he got 61 yards on a 3.6 average. His longest rush was 10, so he wasn't that much of a factor, but I think he did enough to keep our defense a little honest.
Yeah, he was consistent enough, and I felt like when he was running early and getting multiple carries for positive yards, I kind of chopped that up to, we're probably, definitely more worried about the pass, so our defense is prepping for that. But no, they tore us through the air too.
Yeah.
So
where were we?
Just bad overall showing from the D, and when we needed a critical stop late in the fourth quarter, 3rd and goal, couldn't get it. Avery Williamson got burned by Jack Doyle once again across the middle for the game-winning touchdown.
That was the game, really. Well, no, it wasn't. It was not the game at all. We had just mentioned how even at that point we go down 4 points, 2 minutes to go. We have the ball with 1 timeout on the 25-yard line. I'll take that. With as crappy as we have played, as we had played in that game, I would totally take that. And I think Mariota was poised for a game-winning drive, but he's due a turnover, I guess. What are you going to say about that?
Yeah. Okay.
Can we get a turnover from Marcus Mariota that's not going to destroy our lives and our souls? That's the third. Is that the third returned turnover for a touchdown this year?
I think it is. I think our between special teams and then our offense, I think between those we've given up more points to the other team than our defense has all year.
That is
probably not. I mean, I'm not saying that's a fact, but it feels that way because our offense has at least given up 21 points and our special teams has at least given up 21 points. Right?
Three punt returns. We've got 2 punt returns.
Not to mention the botched extra point early, so even took away a point from us.
Not to mention our botched onside kick, or the onside kick they kicked to us in the middle of the second quarter that we didn't recover, so we lost a possession there. I think the Colts got a field goal out of that.
Yeah. Let's just get into special teams now. We mentioned defense.
I don't want to talk about
special teams. Is pathetic right now. Like, just go ahead and fire anyone associated with special teams.
Maybe the team too.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm not one of those people who say fire a lot of people, but
sounds like
it's a blatant eyesore to anybody watching the Titans team. The special teams are terrible. From the onset, that botched extra point. From there was no momentum. We had a great opening drive, did exactly what we wanted. We didn't defer. We won the coin toss, drove straight down, got the touchdown, and then everything just went to hell because we botched extra point, and then the whole rest of the first half until the final under 2 minutes,
in the
nothing happened.
We finally got another
dominated.
Touchdown. Yeah.
And then I don't know what the deal is. What's the deal with special teams, man?
What is the deal? We can't make a play on special teams to save our lives. Like, yeah, the onside kick was unexpected, and they caught us off guard, but Supernal was there to make the play.
We were still
make the play.
in position.
He let it bounce off him.
Do you think we just don't have... I mean, and we don't. I'll just go ahead and say it from my opinion. We don't have the players to make plays like that right now. We're still a very young team in the rebuilding process.
We are.
I mean, we need a few more years, a few more drafts, a few more free agencies. But yeah, Supernal was right there to make the play.
I mean, yeah, and you think he's a good athlete. He's a pretty sure-handed tight end. He catches the ball when we throw it to him. For being a third-string tight end, I think he's more than serviceable on the team, and I think he's a good guy to have on special teams. But he's got to make that play, like you said. Like, it's just about... We're in position. We got to make plays. Against the Browns, that happened against Rashad Johnson, I think.
Yeah.
He's their starting safety, a veteran leader, not making the play after you're in position.
Yeah, as of right now, every team who plays this should at least try one onside kick because so far teams are like, well, I guess the Browns missed their last one, but they're 2 for 3 on their last 3 onside kick attempts against us, which is crazy high percentage for onside kicks in the NFL.
I've never seen it.
Considering they're extremely low.
I've never seen a Titans team this bad at special teams.
Like,
I've seen every Titans
before the kick returns and the punt coverage teams like go onto the field, someone just needs to like slap them in the face and be like, "Hey, wake up! You're about to play, and this play can mean something." Because it feels like half the time they're just asleep. I will say Brett Kern had another good game. A few punts that pinned him deep.
His great play goes under the radar a lot.
But he also botched the snap. So
he did. Yeah, he did. He botched the extra point snap.
47-yard average on his punts, long 62. Got it in the 20 3 times. So 3 out of 4 punts.
47-yard average. That is really good.
So hats off to Brett Kern again. But overall, special teams miserable. Let's get into the offense since we don't have
the O
to say about the special teams, and the offense is where it starts. Where do you want to start with the O? First drive was great.
Yeah, I was going to say first drive in the last 2 minutes. We went stale until the last 2 minutes of the first half. So that's bad. It would be nice to be a little bit more consistent. I mean, we rag a lot about the exoticness sometimes and about the fancy schmancy play calling, but Fun to see Taylor Lewan get a little touchdown catch there. That caught the entire NFL world off guard.
I wouldn't attribute that to the exotic smash mouth. Good play call at the time, not expecting that. That reminded me of something out of the Patriots playbook where it's like, definitely practiced that leading up to this game this week in practice. Knew the Colts wouldn't expect it, hit it at the perfect time, and it worked out.
It did. Good for Taylor Lewan. He's having a pro.
It's not like we're trying to get our offensive linemen, out in the flat to catch passes every single play. That would be a little more exotic.
That would be really
This was the right play call at the right time. It worked out perfectly. Congrats to Taylor Lewan, your first touchdown of his career. Yeah, never thought he'd get one. Let's go into DeMarco Murray run game.
DeMarco Murray run game. It was there again for us this game. Thank goodness we have DeMarco Murray. He is the one bright spot for this game and also this season. He's been a model of consistency for us. He was getting positive yards on every run. I remember one run where he was taken down for a loss, but he's consistently getting positive yards. He's getting chunk gains, 3, 4, 5 yards. He had a long of 14, but still broke 100 yards for the game.
He had 25 carries, 107 yards, 4.3 average, 1 touchdown, his long of 14. I actually really like to see that from a stat line. that average and that yard total because it means like he didn't have kind of one fluke long breakaway.
Yeah.
Normally, if you see a back, break 100 yards normally, or get up into 120, 130, they're going to have a run of like 30 to 40 plus yards,
right?
Typically,
which means then aside from that one run, maybe two runs, they're shut down for the rest of the game. But that's not the case with DeMarco Murray. He was never shut down. He's consistently running the ball well.
He's been doing this every single game. Minus the Cleveland game where he got kind of held in check, only had like 60 yards. But yeah, definitely a bright spot. My thing with it was I don't know what he finished with in the first half, but I know at one point late in the second quarter, it might have been after our first drive, he had over 70 yards rushing. And I thought he was going to have 120, maybe 130 yard rushing game. He only ended up having 30 yards in the second half, which means I felt like we kind of got away from the run, which was surprising because after that late drive in the first half, it was only a 13-17 game. We stopped him coming out of halftime, got the ball back, and then DeMarco Murray only 30 yards rushing in the second half in a close game. I feel like we should have dominated.
Yeah.
Definitely pounded the ball more.
Went away from it a little bit. Still not getting Derrick Henry involved much in the running game, so we don't care about resting Murray at all.
No.
Or having Derrick Henry with the fresh legs coming in. I know the coaches had talked about that before the season, but we still haven't seen that game plan come in.
Murray, as you would say, is definitely our bell cow running back.
Yeah, and I guess that's okay, but whenever you have a completely capable backup running back in Derrick Henry, you'd like to see some Derrick Henry coming in, keeping DeMarco Murray fresh, especially with this game coming up against the Jaguars. We have a 4-day rest.
The Jaguars.
We gave DeMarco Murray the ball 25 times, and he caught at least 2 or 3 passes. So he got a full workload, and then I guess in 4 days we're going to be ready to play again.
We're not seeing any kind of fall off from his play yet. He's still having plays where he's bouncing out to the edge, gaining yards that would gaining even though it's only a few yards, what would have been a tackle for a loss. So I'm still seeing that energy, that kind of early season energy. Like it doesn't look like he's being worn down at all. And as long as he's playing like he's playing, I'm fine with feeding him the ball.
It is week 7 though, and I think he's probably on pace to probably almost crack 400 carries for the season. So we'll see by like week 14, 15 if he starts wearing down a little bit. But yeah, I'm not saying DeMarco Murray is doing anything for him to be giving up carries to Derrick Henry, but man, we're working him a lot. And he's doing good for us, which is good. But
back to my point, I just think we really got away from that run game, especially in the second half. I don't understand. DeMarco Murray's got almost 80 yards rushing in the first half. That means we're tearing him up. Yep. Yeah, we were down more in the first half. So I liked our patience. We didn't panic. We didn't hit the panic button early when they got that onside kick. And we were down, could have fallen down 21-3 or 21-6. Ended up being 17-6. We pulled it back at halftime. I thought we had them, even though we had played a really bad first half from the first drive on to our last scoring drive. The offense had been pathetic, minus a few bright spots in the run game. Not any huge plays, but consistent plays. I just thought we got away from that. And I was like, man, honestly, I'll take this. This is right where we want them. If we keep on pounding the ball, I thought we were going to win that game. I thought we were going to dominate time of possession in the second half. I thought Murray was going to have a great game, probably 120, 130 yard plus rushing game, unless we mixed in Henry a little more. But it just didn't happen.
The team has showed great resiliency, I think, this year.
Definitely.
Whenever we have a deficit, we get back into it. We got back into it against Houston. We got back into it in this game and actually took the lead, had a fourth quarter lead again. I'm trying to think of any other games where we got behind and came back. Detroit, we had that game-winning touchdown drive at the end. So the team does have resiliency. It does come back, but it's just dumb, like mental errors and just doing things that kill us. I think we get in our own way a lot. Like Mariota dropping back on a crucial drive and straight up dropping the ball on the ground. And then he has to recover it. We lose 10 yards. And that drive, actually, I think we recovered and bounced back and ended up getting a touchdown maybe. I know we converted to a first down at least, but it's just little simple things that good teams don't do.
Well, one last point before we get into that stuff. One last point I want to make about the running game.
What point are we on?
Well, you keep on changing my subject off of Murray.
Okay, my bad.
We're talking about the offense, starting with the running game. But, yeah, with Murray and Henry, only 27 carries between the two of them. Fact check me, but I believe when they touched the ball over 30 times, well, I guess Murray had 3 catches. But when they touched the ball over 30 times, our offense does a lot better. So, get back to the run game.
Yeah.
Stick with it in the second half. Okay.
And in that first play, whenever they took the lead by 4, right before the fumble, you had brought that up. It looked like we were going for a deep play, a pass deep, and we could very easily have just stuck with the strengths of our team and our game plan and run the ball, what we're best at on that final drive. We had enough time. But yeah, Mariota waiting for the play to develop. Probably should have had better pocket awareness, and then the hand comes in and knocks the ball out. And of course, Robert Mathis has to make one more huge play against us before he freaking retires. Thanks, Robert. Thanks for being in the division. Really enjoyed having you in here for the past 15 years.
Yeah, this can lead directly into how we're talking about Mariota. But yeah, that last play. A lot of people driving home heard the phone calls on Titans Talkback were bashing Mariota, saying, and well received too. He does have a turnover issue. That's definitely been a consistent theme throughout his young career.
Yeah.
But the fumble was heartbreaking. But a lot of people were trashing Mariota, saying it was all on his fault. Now I went back, showed the play to you. We watched it a few more times.
Yeah.
We get the ball back minute 55. We're down. What is it at that point?
4 points.
4 points. We have 1 timeout. No reason to panic. If you watch that first play out of the drive, what you were just saying, all the receivers go deeper than 10 yards. It's like we're trying to get a huge chunk play right out of the gate, as if we only had 30, 40 seconds left to get those points. We have a minute 55 and 1 timeout. Mm-hmm. We could have easily run the ball, like you said, pounded it, just kind of played our normal 2-minute offense. I feel like we, from a coaching aspect, another thing we got out-coached here, really kind of panicked right there. Mm-hmm. Tried to draw up too big of a play to start with. Tried to bite off more than we could chew. Mariota ended up holding onto the ball too long. But Robert Mathis, is he the guy who sacked him or returned it?
He returned it.
The guy who sacked him, if you go back and look at the O-line there, was the only guy getting double-teamed on the O-line. He beat 2 guys, Ben Jones and I think Schwenke, who will come in for Spain.
Or was it Klein?
Or was it Klein?
It might have been Schwenke, I think, actually.
I can't remember. It's the one guy double-teamed, beats both of them through the middle, and ends up getting the strip sack on Mariota. Yes, Mariota held on to the ball too long, but there's multiple... I don't even know. Yeah, factors to that play more than just someone stripped Mariota because he didn't have enough pocket presence to know that the guy was there. Routes, the play call was wrong. The O-lineman got beat. Taylor Lewan was standing on the left side with no one to block. And the guy doubled. Everyone else had one-on-one. Besides these 2 guys had double-teamed the one guy who beat them both. So,
which is probably smart, because if you're going to send a pass rusher against Lewan, you're pretty much taking that pass rusher out of the play, because Lewan's such a good left tackle.
Well, we should have had time. I guess we had it right. The offensive line, I mean, we drew up deeper routes, but the O-line blew it. I mean, they didn't. They only rushed 4 guys. Maybe 3 guys. I don't know.
3.
I don't want to say anything, but
still,
the guy who beat us was double teamed.
Was the only one that was double teamed.
So let's get into Mariota's play. How do you think Mariota played today?
I was going to say real quick on that one play. You would like to see Mariota see that coming a little quicker, having a little bit more presence of mind. Like, oh shoot, I literally have half a second and I need to bail and get out of here, or just move, or whatever, get the ball swatted.
All we're going
sucks.
All we're going for is there's multiple facets to that final turnover that ended up not costing the game, that kind of put the game out of reach and killed everyone's hopes. But multiple facets more than just Marcus Mariota fumbled the ball again and turned it over. Yeah, stat line shows Marcus with a fumble lost and return for a touchdown, but a lot of things were going on there that didn't work out on the play. But so how do you think Marcus played as a whole in the game?
As a whole?
Because this is definitely
if you look at his stat
main
line,
focus of the team.
If you look at his stat line, it doesn't look too bad. 22 for 37, I don't think is a great completion percentage. Just looking at it, I'm not sure what that rounds out to. But He was very up and down, and he missed a lot of plays, I think. He was inaccurate. He was overthrowing receivers. He overthrew Rashard Matthews twice on deep bombs that one of them could have and should have been like a 70-yard touchdown at least. Like, it was a huge play.
It looked great.
And he overthrew him.
I was in the nosebleeds where you can really see the plays develop, and I stood up being like, oh my God, that was perfect drawn up play. Overthrew him by like 2 inches. Gosh.
Man, just
felt like he just puts a little too much on the ball.
Probably too much than too little. You don't want to see that ball get picked off.
Keep going on your evaluation of the QB.
I thought he was just a little off his game today. He did good about taking care of the ball, except for that final, most critical possession, which, where the game was lost and he fumbled. And seeing him drop that ball on that one drive is inexcusable. Like, I don't know what it was. It was like a play action, or did he just drop back to pass and he just fell out of his hands?
I think it just fell out of his hands. I don't know if it was so quick. I don't know if it was a play action or if he was actually going to hand it off or something.
Well, but we recovered from that, and more times than not, that's going to kill your drive and momentum. But yeah, I mean, he still made some good throws. He kept us in the game. He brought us back to take the lead in the fourth quarter. He did not use his legs as much as what I would like to see. He did not display any kind of really pocket awareness, or he was not looking to run at all. He had a 14-yard run, and that was it. And I think that was from a designed run, was it not? Wasn't it an option?
I can't remember. I remember the run. I can't remember if it was a designed run or not. But in the past, comparing his running to the past few games against the Dolphins and the Browns where he went for over 60 yards, a lot of those were designed read options. I don't know if the Colts were ready for that, where he ended up just giving the ball to Murray most of the time.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, we ran those plays, but he would always give it to
because
Murray.
They were ready for the Marcus's, running ability. But I do think when you look at those games, I think getting Marcus going in the run game with a few runs early, a few designed runs, has definitely helped his confidence and momentum, especially early on. And we did not do that, and I think he struggled today, for sure.
Yeah. Marcus?
Yeah, Marcus.
Man.
I'm saying, like, in the past few games, I felt like they got him running early on the few design runs or read options, which got him going just overall in the pass game, and that didn't happen today. The Colts took that away. And I feel like a lot of Marcus's play, he feeds off of the offensive rhythm, which after that first drive was absent the rest of the game. No offensive rhythm, and I feel like that directly correlates with Marcus's accuracy, one, and then just his overall play. I feel like when our offense is in rhythm, Marcus is clicking, and he benefits from that. When you can tell he doesn't have that, and I think it may be a maturity thing, he doesn't have that, I don't know what QB awareness yet to pull a team kind of out of that funk they're in after a few things haven't gone their way. He's kind of more of a victim of the rhythm and the flow of the game, in my opinion.
And a lot of times I think he stops the rhythm and flow as well. And I think that's a good point. Our run game had some pretty good rhythm to it, but Mariota himself, like going back to pass each time, he just didn't look like he was in a rhythm at all. Like, yeah, he would be starting to hit receivers every now and then, but that was it. Like, it was just like very spotty. It was a very spotty performance.
Yeah, and when you see that so early, I feel like we've seen that a few games this year, and just over, I guess, his rookie year too. You see that starting to happen to him where the offense doesn't have a flow, and I feel like as a fan, knowing kind of how he plays and how his play goes, we were just kind of expecting a turnover eventually. Like, when that happens, when he's out of rhythm, you're kind of like, oh, Marcus is going to turn the ball over sometime. He had that bad interception that got called back. It was just like waiting to happen, which is something he's got to work on. Yeah. And I think it's a QB maturity thing. Could be attributed to some other stuff, but I think coaching can help him with that a little bit. And then he dropped the ball, and that didn't happen. But eventually, he ended up turning the ball over once in the game, and I felt like it was coming. It was eventually coming sometime in the game.
On that turnover to happen.
Yeah, which was a factor of just Marcus being out of rhythm all day.
But still, as bad as Marcus, you could say that he played in this game, that last drive, I still had pretty high hopes that he was going to be able to lead us on a final drive, because that's where he's at his best, is the no huddle, the 2-minute offense.
I did too.
Spreading out the receivers, letting him just do his thing. And man, the Colts, give credit to him. I don't want to because I hate the Colts, but they made the play.
That's what they do.
They made the play, and man, out of it. I want to say a lot of bad things about the Colts, but I need to stay professional.
Good to see Delaney Walker have a good game. Get back in the game even after that cheap shot.
Yeah, Colts. What was that?
Man.
Well,
thank God that called
cool.
That made us, nix the interception they got. Terrible throw by Marcus. But Marcus was, I have multiple plays in my head where he was just inaccurate. 3rd and 1 to Andre Johnson, which was a bad play call.
I did want to talk about that.
Completely missed him.
That makes no sense.
Hold on, we'll get right back to that.
Oh.
But grossly inaccurate. And a lot of people were trashing him after the game. But did anyone talk about his inaccuracies in the past 2 games?
No.
Cleveland Dolphins? No one brought it up. He's hitting Kendall Wright for a 60-yard touchdown, 40 yards touchdowns, hitting Rashard Matthews for 40-yard pass plays. That's what I'm saying. When the offense is flowing, I feel like his accuracy and his pocket awareness and his run game, it all he kind of slides right into that flow of the game. If the flow is positive, everything, all his playing, his play style, it all just fits right in. And when there's no rhythm there, everything just kind of goes wrong for him. He can't hit the short passes, can't hit the deep passes. He's just off, and then he ends up turning the ball over.
Yeah.
So, okay, 3rd and 1 play.
I can't even remember what part in the game that was in.
I think it was first half.
It felt like first half, but yeah. We were running the ball. We were running the ball really well on the drive. I think we had already picked up a first down. Run the ball a couple more times, and it was a 3rd and 1 situation, and I was like, okay, we're probably idiots if we don't run another run play, because we could pick this up. We're kind of pushing them around right now on this drive. But no, not only do we not run, we don't even try play action. We try a straight-up pass to Andre Johnson, where we know we have Delaney Walker, who's a playmaker. We know we have Kendall Wright, who is a 3rd down conversion machine. Rashard Matthews, no. We go to Andre Johnson, our 4th. I think this is 2nd game in a row where Andre Johnson hasn't caught a pass.
Yeah.
He looked kind of open, and Marcus just flat out missed him. It was a bad throw, but there's no guarantee Andre Johnson would have made that catch too. It's just, I don't know, it comes just back to coaching and play calling, and I don't understand what it is. If we're overthinking things like what the defense is showing us, we think we have a good matchup, so we need to run this play. I think you just need to line up and run the football on a 3rd and 1 when it's already been working so far on that drive. It's the little things. I'm being a little nitpicky on things here and there, but that just really frustrates me.
No,
when that stuff doesn't work.
Will that play work in the NFL? Yes. Can Marcus make that throw and Andre make that catch? Yes. I just feel like it's not playing to their strength. Mm-hmm. I feel like it's not playing to Marcus's strength. On a 3rd and 1, you just take him back, try to throw an out route to Andre Johnson. Run a play action where Marcus excels at, or run the ball, which we've already been just pounding it in the first half. I don't understand that call either. Kendall Wright, man, disappeared this game. I don't know what happened if the Colts just shut him out.
He had a few catches.
Two catches for 12, yeah.
Oh,
I'm telling you, the Colts know where we're strong, and they just take it away from us. That's why I'm glad to see Delaney and Tajay have a good game.
It shouldn't have mattered. They had 40 players out with injuries. Their backups beat us. No, let me take that back. Andrew Luck and T.Y. Hilton beat us. They're 2 players.
We did have the most unconventional scoring drive I've ever seen the Titans have. Where we convert, so shout out to this drive where we converted to a 3rd and 15 and a 3rd and 19. When do the Titans ever convert long 3rd downs?
We should give a shout out to Tajay Sharp, man.
Yeah,
he made some good.
Oh, and Rashard Matthews on that 3rd and 19. He broke that tackle and fought, dove for the first down. I'm saying we don't see that out of the Titans teams, not in the past. So this is. I think that was a bright spot, even though we got lucky on that drive, because I think that was the drive that the interception got called back. Delaney got hurt on the drive. We ended up converting 2 3rd and longs, and then end of the day, Delaney comes back and scores a touchdown. So
it's almost a new. No, it is a new feeling that I've never had before as a Titans fan. Where even if it's a 3rd and long, we're capable of making conversions. Yeah, that's not the first time this has happened. We've been converting 3rd and longs a handful of times so far this season. So that's nice to see.
In the past,
we're never out of a drive.
In the past, we get into 3rd and 11 or plus. It's obviously a draw or a screenplay. In the past, it's normally been a screenplay to a tight end, so like we're not even going for the first down, or a short pass and a dump out for 3 yards. So yeah, great to see that. Yeah, just small little note there. Anything left on the offense? We talked about it for a while, but I think that was definitely a turning factor in the game. Besides the no pass rush.
I did want to say one thing about defense that I thought of while you're talking about Marcus and us kind of waiting for that turnover to happen. For me personally, watching the game, I was waiting for our defense to make that one huge bang play, like an interception, a strip sack fumble, something huge that could swing the momentum, but that never happened. Our defense never made a big play in this game. We had 2 sacks. That was the height of the defense.
As of right now, our defense is pretty much front 7, just basically generated on pass rush. We're predicated on pass rush. If that doesn't happen, it looks bad. We're not a team that forces a lot of turnovers. We don't get a lot of takeaways. We don't make a lot of big plays, especially in the secondary. Or do we make any plays in the secondary is a question. But
I have no idea. Even our best corner, Jason McCourty, he made a few good pass breakups. Almost had an interception, but he also got burned by T.Y. Hilton a few times.
T.Y.'s burned a lot of people. T.Y. and Luck have burned a lot of people this year, so...
They have. I think I said this in another podcast or episode, but whenever we face a team that is able to pass block and their quarterback can make throws, we're going to be in big trouble. Because that is what our defense kind of depends on is the pass rush.
The thing that was heartbreaking about this, though, is that the Colts should not have been able to stop our pass rush. No!
They weren't supposed to.
That's what was so infuriating. They took away our strength and exploited our weaknesses. That is why I hate the Colts.
I hate those guys. You guys aren't even good. Y'all aren't doing anything this year. Colts, y'all aren't going to win the division. If y'all do, well, maybe you do, because our division just straight up stinks.
Andrew Luck's got some magic
too,
dude.
Man, a loss like this just kind of makes me think, have we improved? Is this the same old Titans team? This game lined up perfectly for us to make a turnaround, to make a difference, get a win, and really start to challenge for the division. Turn this thing around. But no, Sunday comes along, today happens, and it looks like we just didn't show up. Some of our best playmakers not playing well.
To answer your question, is this a different team? I think definitely. And I tweeted about it during the game because there was a point in the first half when after they got the onside kick, they get up 17-6. We have had no rhythm. Our defense was completely getting exploited. And then all of a sudden, we get that final drive. It's 13-17. We stop them in the first half, and I'm like, holy crap, this Titans team hasn't existed in the past 8 years. Like a team that grinds back into the game to put us into a position against the division rival where we had just been getting straight outplayed, outcoached. So I think our team, and we've seen it multiple times this year, our team has a lot of fight, a lot of grit. I think we have talent. I think we have future potential talent. I think Marcus Mariota is a good QB. I think he's going to be a great QB eventually. I just think he's a little slower maturing than a lot of the NFL fans want him to be. I think he'll get there, though.
Yeah, he came into the league. People were better, or I think he was a little bit better than what people were expecting him to be all of a sudden, out of nowhere. Then the league catches up to Mariota, and now Mariota just has to take that next step forward to be ahead of everyone else again.
I mean, he wasn't playing in an NFL-style offense at Oregon, was he?
No, it was very college.
People had doubts on him coming in. Like you said, he blew those doubts out of the water a little too early because then all of a sudden people were wanting to crown him like the next coming of Jesus playing football. But yeah, and then it's kind of evened out for him. I think he'll get there. I think he has a lot of maturing to do still. But I like this team. Yeah, It was a heartbreaking to lose to a division rival once again and not break the curse. But I like the fight I'm seeing. I like the will to come back.
I do like our comeback capability.
Grinding. I think we definitely need a little more personnel, especially in the cornerback category and the wide receiver. We definitely need some more help in the wide receiver category. So that'll come in the years. I mean, this is a rebuilding process. We've already equaled our win total from last year and surpassed it from the year before. Yeah. So are we making strides forward? Yes. Are we getting the pieces in place? Yes. can you flip a team like that within a year? No. So
we're in all these games. I think though one of the more discouraging things is this is our first loss, I think, against not a very good team this year. The Raiders, the Texans. I don't think the Texans are great. I think they're better than the Colts. And then the Vikings. Those were our losses. And yeah, I don't want to sound like too butthurt or salty, but I really don't think the Colts are that good this year. And are they better than the Titans? They were today, and that's what matters.
But if you look at it,
I want that rematch to happen Thursday night, though.
The Colts have been in a lot of games though that they've lost. They were up 14 points to Houston before that. They just epically collapsed.
Their roster is not very good. It's Andrew Luck. It's the Andrew Lucks, not the Colts.
It's the Indianapolis Lucks, and they did have some luck. Talk about that tip pass that we should have picked off.
To Doyle McFreaking
boy. I'm actually kind of inspired by this team. It was a heartbreaking loss, and I was emotionally crushed after. I've had a little time to process, but I like the resiliency we showed by climbing back into the game. Where at one point I was like, "Man, this is gonna be one of the worst home games I've been to in my Titans career of being a fan." After we were down 17-6, and I thought they were just about to torch us. I thought we were about to get blown out by a bad team. Yeah, they're a bad team, and I'm not saying we're great by any means. We played some tough competition. We played them close. They played some tough competition close, but they're division rivals, and with a great quarterback like Luck, it's always going to be a tough game. So I was pleased to see the grit our team had in the game by still being in it late, even though we played terrible for 90% of the game.
Yeah.
We were still in it at the very end.
We were still
just couldn't make enough plays. And we're going to fix that. Don't forget, we got 2 first-round picks next year.
That's true.
This team, there's room to improve, and we're taking the steps in the right direction to improve it.
I don't even want to talk about next year, though. Guys, I'm still wanting to talk about this year.
Yeah,
we have a game on Thursday night. We win this game against the Jags on Thursday night. Come on, we are in this thing. The Texans are going to lose to the Broncos. Hope so. Knock on wood. Whatever.
They better.
And if they do, the Jaguars lost today again. So if the Texans lose, we're still a game out of the division. Let's not overreact. I probably made some overreactions just now, but who cares? Everyone overreacts on Sunday nights.
Right after the game.
Yeah. So we're still in this thing, but yeah, no, you're right. We do have lots of good draft picks in the future. It does look promising.
The NFL, and it's sad to see, it's come to where there's no patience anymore for teams, for coaches, for players. I hate to say it, but I don't hate to say it. I see a lot of this every single week, especially after a loss. Fire Malarkey. Get rid of Robisky. Mariota sucks. Come on, man. You know what? Malarkey's not getting fired unless we go 0-9 the rest of the year and get blown out. Malarkey's our coach. Mariota's our quarterback. Yeah. John Robinson's our GM. This is who we're dealing with. We need some continuity. We need some consistency. That's what an organization needs. You look at the great organizations, they have these pieces. Even though they might not be the best pieces, if you can put it together and make it work and keep that consistency going, you can string together a very good team.
For instance, Bill Belichick has been fired from a head coaching job back in the 90s or something. Pete Carroll was fired from his head coaching job. These things happen. I'm not saying Mark Malarkey is Pete Carroll or Bill Belichick. I'm just saying these overreactions and knee-jerk reactions and fire the coach, this is awful, make a change. That's not always the best thing to do for a franchise.
Yeah, Malarkey has a terrible NFL record as a head coach, but he's only played 1 year with a franchise quarterback. He had Drew Bledsoe for 1 year. Other than that, he was working with just makeshift quarterbacks until he took over as the Titans this past year. So, regardless whether he's a good coach or not, he's not getting fired this year. I'm just going to say it right now. So everyone's saying fire Malarkey after every loss. It's not going to happen. He's with us this season. He'll be with us, and I think he's going to at least play out his contract with us. So he's the coach. Yeah. I'm sticking with him. I don't know.
What do you expect? We were 3-13 last year. Now we're 3-4. after a loss, and you're saying, fire the coach, fire the coach.
A game we could have easily won to put us over 500 against the division rival and put us tied for first place in the AFC South. Come on.
And
Malarkey's not getting fired. Robisky's not getting fired. The worst thing for Mariota, if we want him to even succeed in the NFL, is keep on switching out his head coach and his offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Come on. We got to establish some continuity. So stick with him. Is all I'm saying. I've talked myself into being super optimistic right now. Even
We're
after
excited
this
again.
Dumb loss. Yes, go Titans!
I love doing Titans too, but
be.
Makes me happy again.
Because we got to have a short memory about this because, yeah, like you said, Jags on Thursday, quick turnaround. Let's go at home, Color Rush, Thursday night, primetime, Titans' first primetime game of the year.
And they just got blown out by the Raiders. They're sad and mopey, hopefully, and down on their spirits. Let's crush their spirits into the ground and win a freaking divisional game, finally, against the Jaguars. Which is,
Careful.
It would be nice to win a divisional game that isn't the Jaguars, but we'll take what we can get.
Okay.
Agreed. Shall we end this?
Shall we?
Do you have another special thing to say?
I do not. I just wanted to go on that rant at the end because I feel like I was checking Twitter a little more than you today.
You probably were.
No, I pretty much run our Twitter on game days, and there's a lot of negativity and hate, especially after a loss.
Guys, come on.
And I don't agree with it. We're the first to admit it. We're probably two of the most optimistic Titans fans in the world.
Yeah.
So, yes, that I'm gonna say it now. If you bash me in the comments about how I'm too optimistic, I am admitting it. Yes, I am. But I'm not one of those hateful, spiteful, knee-jerk reaction type people either. So I'd rather swing my way than that way.
I like to try to keep a level head and thought about what took place. Maybe not like that.
Oh,
well, it could be. Whatever. You do you.
That's what I'm saying. I love this team. I love the Titans. I'm proud to be bleeding blue, baby. Bleed
the two-tone blue. We're going to be there Thursday night again, loud and proud. Our team definitely needs a win on Thursday night. So let's go get them. Let's go get them Thursday.
Yeah, see you at the game.
Yeah, be there.
Or be